entry 3358, and Cameron Matos with entry 8113. Our judge today for our Open Cattle Simmental show is Ryan Rash. Hailing from Crockett, Texas, Rash is no stranger to the livestock show circuit, both exhibiting and judging at county, state, regional, national, and international shows. He took his knowledge and passion for livestock with him from Texas A&M University, where his 1999 livestock judging team took home the National Intercollegiate Livestock Judging Championship. He currently works for the Texas Junior Livestock Association and the Showbox magazine. In addition, he is the owner of SBCC, a cattle company and consulting firm that procures and supervises cattle for junior livestock projects. Rash's advice to exhibitors is to enjoy the experience of showing as much as possible, even though life is a competition and you win some and you lose some. He hopes to add the unique laid-back atmosphere of the 2018 Arizona National Livestock Show. Please help me welcome Ryan to the show.
Now only a pair of cattle in this particular class, and of that duo, no doubt that the brockle-headed female is the more shoring-oriented female, the steeper in her side and bolder in terms of her root shape. She has more muscularity in terms of just total dimension. Now a female that as you study her, she needs to have more substance of foot and bone, wants to roll ever so slightly from knee to ground, but a good one with a great deal of presence and look. Heifer in second is really long spine, very fresh in terms of her presentation. She's a heifer that's too cylindrical in terms of her body making build, kind of stouten her up and make her just move just a little freer and easier off either end of her skeleton. Give them a nice round of applause.
First place in Class 1 Spring Heifer Calves went to entry 3358, exhibited by Aaron Curley. Second place went to entry 6104, shown by Riley Wood. Coming into the ring next will be Class 1.1. We'll have entry 8113, Cameron Matos. Sorry about the misclass, Cameron. Entry 5747, shown by Carolyn Rogers. Entry 5820, shown by Kiana Smith. And entry 6210, shown by Colin Matos.
Okay, an interesting trio out here with lots of differences between them, no doubt. The one that's the most correct in terms of rib shape, internal dimension, the stoutest in terms of bone and footwork is the predominantly black heifer at the lead. Tremendous in terms of her muscle shape and squareness, one that with that moves pretty good off of her hind two. At the front, she just wants to get a little in and her knee roll up the ground to her hoof wall, but one that's stout and powerful. And the obvious thing to do in this class, the red boldy female has a great deal of promise in the future. She's as green as a gourd out here, but that's the best looking female of this entire trio because she's the sweetest about her head and neck. She's the most correct in the way that her neck ties into the top side of her skeleton. She just doesn't have the show ring performance out here today, but 60 to 90 days when she goes on, matures, and bodies down, I think that pair will get closer because she is one that is more correctly assembled in her front two and one that has more presence. And then we close the class with one that's very long spine and level made. That heifer's just the frailest in terms of her build and the one that just is the nearest in terms of her gauge. Give them a nice round of applause.
First place in Class 1.1 went to Cameron Matos with entry 8113. Second place went to Carolyn Rogers with entry 5747. And third place went to Kiana Smith with entry 5820. Coming into the ring next will be a write-in for Class 2. We have Brittany Wilkerson with entry 6311.
And then after that, it'll be our and our drive.
Single entry female here, and one again, just really tremendous in a lot of ways. That one's silhouette and design and the way that she blends together is exceptionally good. Of the peers and contemporaries that we've seen, she's as good at the ground and the way that she moves as any. She'll line up nicely in the champion drive. Congratulations to you.
First place in Class 2 went to Brittany Wilkerson with entry 6311. We'll ask Brittany to stay in the ring while we bring back in the first places from our previous classes. From Class 1, we had Erin Curley with entry 3358. And from Class 1.1, we had Cameron Matos with entry 8113. Once our first places have entered the ring, we will bring back in the seconds.
They're ready to go back home. They're like, it's cold.
All right, our seconds may come into the ring. For the first class, we had Riley Wood with entry 6104. And for Class 1.1, we had Carolyn Rogers with entry 5747. The champion of our junior heifer calf division will also be our champion Simmental female. Our champion Simmental female will be receiving a banner sponsored by the Arizona National Livestock Show, as well as a boot bag sponsored by the Arizona National Livestock Show.
All right, a small show, but a good show nonetheless. And again, I think it's fairly logical in what needs to happen out here. There's one female that just has that glow and that pizzazz in this particular division. Most importantly, you go beyond that. If you'll study the way these cattle are assembled through the front 1/3 of her body, she's the best in her shoulder. She's the most correct in the way that she goes from knee down to hoof. That's the heifer out of the last class, and she'll be the champion. Congratulations to you. The decision for reserve, there's two contrasting types out here. One is more ladylike and show ring oriented about her front 1/3 of her body. The other heifer is stouter and just more massive in terms of her build. We'll use the Bronco face heifer at the lead to be reserved. Give them a nice round of applause.
Our champion junior heifer calf and champion Simmental heifer went to entry 6311, shown by Brittany Wilkerson. A reserve champion junior heifer calf and reserve champion Simmental female went to entry 3358, shown by Erin Curley. After our heifers have exited the ring, we will be bringing in Class 31 Spring Bull Calves, entry 5746, shown by Carolyn Rogers.
Is there only one bull?
Well, I've got one. I don't know who it maybe Kylie.
We only have one bull in this division, so again, I'm gonna get this one right. Nobody can argue with me. I don't know what this gentleman's gonna do in the Supreme Drive, because if my running track record's going, he's gonna have 3 out there and the deal. So he's either gonna have to find help or get really busy here in a little bit this afternoon. But this is a nice individual, and he is really powerful in terms of his rib shape, his dimension, and his muscularity. It fit in nicely out here in the Supreme Drive. Congratulations to him. Give him a nice round of applause.
First place in Class 31 Spring Bull Calves and our Junior Bull Calf Champion and our Champion Simmental Bull went to entry 5746, shown by Carolyn Rogers. The Open Cattle Show will resume out here at 11:30 with our percentage breeding cattle show.